I stumbled across recently, and so there's one called Glitch in the Matrix that's just like silly little things that happen where like deja vu, or like I was walking into the store and this mom with her 2 kids wearing the same coats walked in, and then as I was leaving, the same family came in again. It was crazy. It felt like I was losing my mind, and people were like, "That's wild!" Like
that happened.
It is crazy when things like, yeah, did it?
Yeah, so I'm on the TAT, right? I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska, on my way home. The Transamerica Trail was this big motorcycle ride around the country, and I'm riding my bike in Lincoln, Nebraska. A guy rides his bicycle in the opposite direction. He's very distinctive. He has a big beard that would make Santa Claus emasculated. He's skinny, and he's on like a beach cruiser bicycle with an oversized basket on the front. There's not a lot of people like this, right? And he's pedaling along in his shorts and like a tank top t-shirt, and he's old, so it's a big gray beard. And then 3 blocks later, another guy just like him, same bike, same beard, same everything. I'm like, hey, that can't be. That can't be. I'm going like 35 miles an hour. That bicycle guy didn't whip around. Glitch in the Matrix. I can't explain it. I don't have an explanation, but that's what happened.
Yeah. And like, it's because like the comments in that one, I was reading a few of them. They'll be like, it's crazy how you can convince yourself things like that happen. And someone will be like, don't ask too many questions about it, and someone's like, well, we're allowed to say this is just silly happenstance. It's not retconned. And I was like, retconned? That's a new r/retconned. What is this? So I go to that one. And this one is like Glitch in the Matrix, but you're not allowed to say that it's just like happenstance. It's like, and a lot of people are clearly taking it seriously. Number one, they are obsessed with the Berenstein Bears.
What does retcon mean again? I feel like that's
it means that like you retroactively change something to make it fit with modern day. So they some of them will say like it was the Berenstein Bears with EIN at the end when I was a kid, and now in this new dimension I'm in when I phased, now it's Berenstain Bears, AIN at the end.
These are the Disney singing bears, am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
Jesus Christ,
and they'll use that as an example of it,
okay.
and people will be like, yeah, it's
so Woody, so that in particular is this thing that there is a lot of contention about. Like there is an enormous group of people who believe that it was spelled a certain way. There's a lot of these. What are they called?
The Mandela effect.
Yeah, Mandela effect. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like people mass misremembering something. This one here, I'll link it so you can look at the comments too. It's a picture of an Egyptian statue, and it says this image was taken in 1856. And the comments are like unironically, yeah, just show the image there. You don't have to show the thread. It's just unironically people saying like, in my old reality, photographs weren't even a thing until the 1910s. And other people are like, I swear every year it gets earlier. Soon we're going to be seeing pictures of the Middle Ages, and they're like, yeah, in my old, there was some other comment with like, there's a lot of people talking about their old, what do they say? Realities or the timeline. That's what they say. They say on my old timeline, it was Berenstein Bears. And in my old timeline, actually, building 7 didn't even fall down, but in this timeline it did. And it's like people just misremembering shit, and everyone around them going like, that's so true.
It's crazy. 1856 somehow feels early to me. It's earlier than I would have thought pictures were, but there are lots of pictures of Lincoln, not paintings, pictures of Abraham Lincoln. And he was murdered in 1864. I think I just looked it
65, up. 65, I think.
You're right. It is 65. So clearly, like, there were pictures around back then. That one looks color. Am I crazy?
Yeah.
No.
And so like this has been improved with like modern technology. And so that's number one, kind of stupid. Like obviously it wasn't, this crisp back then.
Yeah, this one looks great.
But one of the, this is the exact comment I was thinking of. In my old timeline, photography took off in the early 1900s. Anything before then was super grainy, and there were certainly no photographs from the 1850s. A clear anchor memory for me is in the movie The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The wanted posters of the criminals were all sketches in my old timeline. Now they're photos. Now, is it more likely, I posit, that he's misremembering or that he's shifted timelines yet again?
Can I just say I also don't remember Tower 7 going down. I know that it happened because everyone's always talked about it, but I watched 9/11 live on TV. Like, we didn't do class that day. We just watched 9/11. And I have no memory of that. And And I am positive that that is because I was 15 years old watching TV, and there was a national tragedy happening, and that's why I don't remember.
No,
Not me. My memory in particular is flawless and better than video evidence.
Yeah. In my old timeline, you were a gun YouTuber.
That was a sick line.
So my old timeline, your head got stuck and you didn't make it.
I'm about to make my first YouTube video, but I'm hit by a car.
Lefty's still here. We have 400 viewers.
I don't know why this show sucks. Like I don't know why I keep listening to this. Yeah, in my other timeline, it was good.
Jackie left after Woody turned to the drink.
There's another. Yeah, that would be a fun. In a timeline out there, Woody's a drunk. Just
I don't like alcohol at all.
I love.
I know, but that's
that's why it's a good timeline.
Took all of the lack of desire, and that one was left with nothing but thirst.
He got my share.
Yeah, there's other ones where it's just pictures of animals that they're not familiar with, and they'll be like,
"Oh,
really?" And it's like one of them was like, "Did you know that animals can absorb sunlight and create chlorophyll now? Because look at this slug." It can absorb sunlight from the sun, and it's an animal. Do you remember this in your old timeline? And it's like we discover new animals all the time. Like it's definitely not a timeline shift, but it's super fucking fascinating. Like staring deep into the void. What would be interesting?
So that all that nonsense is only interesting to me if you put like one drop of science into the bullshit. If you got Black Science Man to be like, theoretically, there are multiple universes, and some would by their very nature be unstable because only minor changes separated them from their sister universes, let's just call them. So it's possible that those universes could merge back together, and you could be from that sister universe and you could be the only survivor who remembers the Berenstein Bears spelled the wrong way.
It could be. We need Neil deGrasse Tyson to